Me and my girl have indulged in that though.
Y'all have it?
We have. Like, just try to keep me happy. Like, we've done those swing. They call it swinging. Yeah, we did a little swinging.
She agreed to it?
Yeah, we did a little swinging. But
oh Lord,
dang it, you don't want nobody else doing it to your lady.
That's what I'm saying though. So what did she say with A Carlos?
No, after we got done, she tried to come to get the hell on from me. I just seen that man put you. I'm talking about he done turned your way but loose. I didn't left her with him. You hear me? Cool. Because it was like when you want to have fun. You want to have fun in your life. That was, you know what I mean? Something.
That was a one-time thing though, right?
Oh, of course. I would never allow that to happen again. I never let it happen again. Because you can't get that image out your head.
No. Yeah. That big old, I mean, what if it was somebody like me? Yeah. Sweating. Muscles just everywhere.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
And a full plate.
Yeah. He was doing so good. I said, I know she don't want this after that. I know you don't. It ain't no way you want this after what he just did.
But ain't no way you could be in the same. You got to be in another room, and just to put it in your mind, well, I know what he's doing, blah, 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 so forth. So ain't no way you could watch that, HaHa.
That's why you look. I seen it one time. I never.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, man.
Man, I'm talking here and there with dog walking her. In full control of your old lady.
That man, he had to wrap it around his arm to come up out of there?
Dog walking her.
Come on, HaHa.
And then they called the police.
What made you...
I thought he was an intruder.
HaHa, what made... I mean, look, I understand you want to have some fun. Go to the beach or get on a balcony or be in the parking lot at the gym or the grocery store. Yep. But come on, HaHa.
It was, you know, when you live it like you want to have fun sometimes.
HaHa David said, cop hold for sharing his wife. Shaking my head. Gotta be careful with the title. But for those of you, you know what that is. I'm gonna get straight to it, man. HaHa Davis, you seen in the video, he pretty much was swinging with his wife. That pretty much means where you swap the spouse of another couple and y'all have sexual, relations. He said he did that, and his woman was getting dog walked, like he was saying. His woman was getting used and abused, as he was saying. You know how Jake is when they get in a rental car? You know how Jake dog will run the car out? That's pretty much what was happening to his woman. And that's supposed to be his wife. And that way he was expressing on Club Shay Shay. I just think it's downright sad, But nonetheless, though, I want to give all the undergrown praises to the Most High YAHAWAH and His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI, who in the world ignorantly called Jesus because the letter J did not exist 2,000 years ago. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, taught them the truth through the Spirit. Single honors to the elect. Peace and blessed to the 1/3 and to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. I'm going to break out some Bible verses, man. We're going to prove that even in the times of past, all the way up until the times up until now, men with status, men with money, men that had poise, these men did not have testicular fortitude. All right. Matter of fact, let me look that word up. Testicular fortitude. It says testicular fortitude is a colloquial, humorous euphemism for extreme courage, grit, or having the metaphorical balls to face a difficult, dangerous, or highly uncomfortable situations. What's a highly uncomfortable situation today? A man being a man today with this woman, especially with this feminism popping off, man. So men today, a lot of men lack testicular fortitude because a lot of the men have women ruling over them. And we're going to get there right now in the scriptures. Matter of fact, let's get right to it. This is 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 22 through 27. This is in the Apocrypha, a part of the 1611 King James Version Bible. By this also you must know that women have dominion over you. We see that today. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Now, theoretically, there was a time in America where you could live off one paycheck. But because the love of evil is the root of money, pretty much, that has increased more and more into people having to have 2 jobs just to sustain a household, or a couple with each parent or each spouse, so to say, having to have a substantial amount of income coming into the household. But still, the men will do what today? Even to this day, men still do it. They will bust their asses 50, 60, 70 hours a week for their family. And I've been seeing a lot that women who stay at home, that they do what? They step out. And nowadays, a lot of women step out. It's wild today. The dating scene today is just, it's over. It's rare to find a woman. There are women out there that you can deal with, but those women are very rare to find. Because if you can find, if let's say 10% of women that you run into are wives, that's 10 women out of 100. So yeah, it's gonna be hard to find them. But nonetheless, though, let's get it. So you give everything, you go out and get everything in the world, and you bring it back to the woman. All right, verse 23. 2nd Esdras 4:23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon the rivers, and looketh upon a lion, and goeth in the darkness, and when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Damn right. Men will go out of their damn way for women. It's simps out here. Y'all just they go to women's like Instagrams or TikToks and be like, hey, send me your Amazon gift list or wish list. It could be like worth $2,000 or something, and a dude to pay it off and like never talk to the woman. It gives certain women a false sense of grandeur. But nonetheless, though, a man will still go out and do stuff like that for women. You got men out here that's making women millionaires just from conversation over the internet, off of something called OnlyFans, right? So let's go back. Verse 25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father and mother. That is very true. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women, and become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. Now let me tell you this straight up. If you with a woman, and she has dignity, she's modest, she's shamefaced, and you present her with swinging or sharing, and that woman already had it in her mind to want to be with other men. You know, because Eve I deal with, she told me straight up. She said, because she already know the deal about you could deal with more than one woman, whatever. Like she said, listen, I'm not sharing you. I'm not doing no sodomy. That's how she said. She said, I ain't sharing you. I ain't doing no sodomy. I said, all right, get down with that. Whatever, you know. But for real. So that's the woman right there. She ain't gonna be swinging. She was like, if you're gonna go your way, you go your way, and I go my way, just like that, straight up. Raised in the family with a mother and a father, and all her siblings come from the same woman and man. You know what I'm saying? That's very rare. And all she ever seen was family, so all she ever want to do is have a family. Very rare, but nonetheless, though, a lot of men still run out of their wits for women, because a lot of the women that the men are dealing with, they're damaged. You know, they've had multiple sex partners, so they can't really parabond. Parabond is something that's scientifically proven. A man have sex with a woman, her chances of having a successful marriage is what, 100%. We're talking about psychologically and chemically, you know, hormonally. She has sex with 2 men, that reduces to like 50%. 3 men, 30%. 4 or 5. So once you get up to 5 men, it's very hard to parabond. So technically, the woman will parabond with the first man she have sex with, or the first man she have love with, or the first man that she gets pregnant from. And if they break up for whatever reason, and she goes out and try to be a man, meaning try to sport fuck or have sex with multiple men, she just literally is destroying herself. You know? But you know that saying, they say you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That's not saying that somebody who was an ex-drug dealer can't become like a neighborhood activist or whatever, you know. Or a woman that's a stripper or was a harlot. That doesn't mean that she can't, you know, or was a madam. That means she can't change her ways and come back. I mean, scientifically, it's very hard to do nowadays, you know, especially spiritually, hormonally. But there was a harlot that YAHAWASHI told to stop sinning, and she stopped. So it's not impossible. Even Paul speaks about men who would seek after other men and women who would go after other women. Even he spoke on that. Some of you were them, but if you repent, you can come back. But that's a feat that they're gonna have to overcome between them and the Most High. Because who am I to lay in the charge to the Most High's elect? Who am I to say, man, a whore can't be saved, a homosexual man can't be saved? Who am I to say that? Who am I to say that? But nonetheless, though, there's still a chance of salvation for those individuals. I'm going to speak in according to the scripture. But going back, even the Lord said that the woman you deal with will be a harlot, a whore. Scientifically, well, not scientifically, let me say biblically. According to the Bible, if a woman has sex with one man, she's supposed to be with that man for the rest of her life. If he let her go to be with another man, he will cause her to become a whore, because now she's having sex with more than one man. But do understand, if her husband dies, after a year she can go and marry. She's not a whore. But she would have to marry someone next to kin, like someone within that family, close to that family, to carry on that seed. If he didn't have a seed, see, there's certain laws to it. So the Lord knows why a woman's supposed to be with one man. Because if you have multiple men, you become a whore, you defile yourself, and that's how diseases spread. So Amos 7:17, therefore thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be in the harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land. And that's very heavy, because when the Lord said your wife shall be a harlot, that doesn't mean that right now you're with a woman that's sleeping around on you. She could have been that way before. Then you marry her, and then 15 years down the line you find out she's been having like a 5 or 7 year affair. It's because that she never left that old man, so to say, that past is still inside of her. She can't help it, right? Or she was very promiscuous before you married her, and then you married a harlot. But then let's say she stayed loyal to you, she would still be labeled as a harlot. Like when the Lord was dealing with Israel, the Lord had very pristine law. There was even a law where you would make a concoction and you would put it around the thighs of a woman, and if it rot, it means she was sleeping with other men. Hence, nowadays, I think that's why they call it, when, not to be rude, like certain women, they say, oh, they had like cottage cheese. They say there's like different men's sperm cells that died off or rotten at the inner thigh. I don't know, whatever, but yeah. So there's even a law on that to see if your woman was promiscuous, But this is all about men having to have some testicular fortitude, lay your foot down. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm be honest, we're men. You know what it's like, men. I'm speaking to the men right now. So ladies, close your ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Men, you know what it's like when you having sex with a woman. The word vagina in the etymology goes back to the word sheath. You know what a sheath is? A sheath is where you will put your sword or your dagger. So what do you think you're doing when you having sex with a woman? You getting some cutty. Remember that song? And what's up? Can I get in them guts, That song was called Cutty. A knife, a sword, a dagger cuts. Look at the insertion of a woman's vulva, right? And when you're having sex with a woman, you're going to war. I'm just being honest. You have a sword, right? You're going to war. You're trying to conquer her, humble her, have dominion over her. The sounds, the moans, the groans. Doesn't it sound like an animal that's, But nonetheless, you know the deal, right? So I'm very territorial. One time I got very, very upset that the man tried to shake my woman's hand. I don't want no man touching my woman. It's just how it is with me. If your brother, your cousin, whatever, but I don't want no man touching my woman. But at the same time, though, chivalry. I hope chivalry isn't dead. Because there's women out there who men will be chivalrous for. So it's not dead. Chivalry just know who to show up for, right? Because I can see a feminine woman. I will help her in the world. And she could be married, but that's why I would help her, because if my woman's in the world, I would hope there's a chivalrous man there to help her. See what I'm saying? That's why I know chivalry's not dead. Because a woman could be out and about and may need some help, and then man will help. By default, we're going to help you women. We don't care how crazy, egotistical, delusional the modern woman is. We still trying to protect you from yourself. And we still going to help you. I can't even help it. Rude women that I be knowing at my job, I still help them, man. They can't help but say thank you. Because they know 9 times out of 10 their asses be wrong. But it's just in my nature. I can't help it. I am a gentleman. I'm a nice asshole, meaning I'm nice to everybody, but deep down inside, I'm an asshole. Why? Because assholes get shit done. Assholes ain't got time for the bullshit. Think about a euphemism. Assholes don't got time for the bullshit. Anyway, let's get back to it. Proverbs 6:34-35. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. Have you ever heard of something called the crimes of passion? Well, a man or a woman will pretty much commit, deleting someone, and they will get off. Because it was a crime of passion. A man would take a woman's life, the lover's life, the children's life, and his life. That's really what Esau would do. Esau would do that. If he found out his woman was committing, adultery. And then burn the house down with everybody in it. That's how, yeah. Because that's his possession. Your wife is your possession. You know men that love cars, that can build cars from the ground up, engine and all of that. They put the turbo in there. They got the gauges inside. They know the fuel to air ratio. They got the car dip down low. They got an encompass, all of that. Those guys who love those cars and treat those cars with joy, it's the same way as having a wife and man that loves his wife. You will keep her up. You will protect her. You will take care of her. So when a man says to a woman, you belong to me, first thing people do is go to negative thoughts. No, that does not mean anything. My wife is my possession. Remember, you're your father's possession. You have his last name. Once he hands you off in the marriage and give you to me, now you have my last name, meaning that you're now my possession. All the children should have my last name because they're my possession. And like even in the Bible, if you were to divorce your woman, she will leave with nothing. Why? Because those children are still your possessions. Those children have always been with their father before they met their mother since puberty. Let's stop this. When women say, my son, my daughter, my children, no, those are the father's children. Esau turned everything upside down. I'm getting upset. Esau turned everything upside down. Let me close out. This is Sirach chapter 26, verse 3, verse 9 and 26. Verse 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. So 9 times out of 10, the woman you're dealing with is a woman that will correlate your essence, your vibration, what you deserve, who you belong with. Right? Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. If you know who HaHa Davis is, right? HaHa Davis is kind of like Desi Bates and Drewski. They do skits, they on YouTube and all that, and they make good money. But HaHa Davis, I've seen skits with his woman where he presented her as somebody else would be like detaining her or helping her in some sexual conduct, and he always be quote unquote acting like he's gonna fight somebody in the skit, or quote unquote trying to redeem his woman in the skit. Now that I'm looking back at those skits and knowing that he was swinging with his woman, deep down inside, man, that man is broken. That man is broken, man. That man is torn. Because his skits is really his insecurity. Like, dang, man, my mama was getting dog walk. And now you're making all these skits trying to be protective of your woman and everything. Nah, man. That's you being insecure because probably another man did something to your woman that you could never do. And that's very unfortunate. And it shouldn't even be that way. Your woman should think that you are her sex god. That you are the biggest, longest, whatever. I'm just saying in general. Because you should be the only man she dealt with, but because you dealt with more than one, because she dealt with more than one man, that goes to comparison and things like that. It's just crazy nowadays. But nonetheless, Sirach 26, pardon me real quick. So Rock 26 and 25, it says 26 and 23, forgive me. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. I don't know how David's from a can of paint, but nonetheless though, that's the woman you chose to deal with. That's the woman you chose to. That's what you call a simp, people. Simp is an acronym for an actual meaning. Simp, simpleton, idolizing, mediocre pussy. That's literally what a simp is, and that's what he doing, man. Yo, I don't give a damn how good it feels. That's still mediocre pussy because that's neighborhood. That's the neighborhood bicycle she can be, man. That woman just willfully. Even when I was not even right now, when me and her had like a couple years when you talk whatever. When she was working, girls would have conversation about men they slept with and everything. They come to her, she be like, "No, I haven't been with nobody except for him." And they ask questions like, "What?" A woman said, "I could be in love and still sleep." And she said, one girl said, "I could be in love with a man I still slept with somebody." And then her supervisor said, "That's what you call a hoe." And they started laughing. But long story short, she said she can't even like imagine giving herself to somebody else. I've been dealing with this one for over 10 years. She can't even imagine giving herself to somebody else. So there's women out here that have dignity, testicular fortitude, you know. Like I said testicular fortitude. I mean morals. But it's like we had conversations. I said, "Yeah, I've seen beautiful women." She said, "Yeah, I've seen handsome men. I've seen them. That don't mean I want to jump their bones." So I mean, it's attractive people in the world, y'all. What do you expect? Honestly, there's more. There's like beautiful women. There's like a dime a dozen. But for us men, there's not many handsome men or attractive men around. So hey, it is what it is, you know. So Rock 26. And I'm going by what people tell me. I'm not boasting. Because the Lord gave me the genetics, the charm, and the faith. I didn't do that on my own. The Lord gave me the genetics, the charm, and the faith, y'all. So Rock 26, and I'm gonna close out this. It should not have been this long. 26 and 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. What do women today who call themselves very attractive today or whatever, what they want to call themselves? Bad bitches. I don't want a woman that's bad, and I don't want a woman that's a bitch. A female dog in the Merriam-Webster dictionary is known as a bitch. So a shameless woman is a bitch. So women that call themselves bad bitches or refer to their friends as bitches, I don't want them. I want an honorable woman. And I'm going to close out right here. So Rock 26 and 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. There's no way you can honor your husband by allowing another man to plow you, to defile you, to put a whole different vibration, essence, in and all on you. That's gonna be forever in her mind. No matter what's going on between you and her, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, she gonna always think about how that man handled her. Very unfortunate. But anyways, with that being said, I truly pray y'all was edifying, fed. Stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Sha'Allah, Maflaba Shalom.